Okay, so first disclaimer, how do I know about DVDs, all the stuff and all the electronics? I will explain. This one is DVD player by Pioneer. The model is DV383. So how do I know? Because I was part of the engineering in Tzoran Semiconductors, which produce most of the chips worldwide on the 19th, and this is why I did a lot of the engineering of the DVD, so I will explain without many details how this is working. So basically we have the main chip. This is a MediaTek, this is not a Tzoran. This was a competitor, by the way, of the Tzoran Semiconductors. But never mind, this is the main processor of the DVD. This is a DDR memory, and the processor is using the DDR to doing all the processing stuff. Here we have a flash, usually this is an AND or an OR, which holds all the software that is downloaded to the main processor, and it is doing all the processing with this DDR or DRAM and the flash all together. We have all the calculation here. This is the motor driver which control all the motors of the DVD, and we have quite a lot of motors. The motors are, first of all, the tray motor, which is opening and closing the tray of the DVD. And then we have the spindle motor. The spindle is spinning the DVD or the CD to the correct speed that it should be. And then we have another two motors that controlling the laser itself. One of them is the focusing, which is holding the laser up and down till it is in the correct focus, and one of them is the tracking that is moving very fast in order to keep the correct track. And we have another motor which is moving, of course, all the laser to the correct point on the CD or DVD, like a patyphone. This is pretty similar, the mechanism, let's say. Other than that, we have here usually a video, a small video processor. I call it. It is not really processor. It's get the output signal, and then it is converted to one composite signal, or RGB, or YUV, or whatever what this chip is supporting. Another thing that we have is a DDX audio. DDX is basically, how do I know that it is DDX? Because the build of the circuit, and it is much cheaper than the regular analog. What DDX means, it's like a digital processing of the audio, and in order to do the waves of the audio, let's say like a sine wave, we are doing a very fast square waves, and then we have an integration of the waves, and if we will do them very fast, and it will integrate it, so it will sum or subtract, and then at the output we will have an audio signal out from the digital signal in. Here probably it is a sound amplifier, audio amplifier, in order to output the audio out. Sometimes we have also a digital or coaxial or a SPDIF or something that converted to digital data out. And basically there is a lot of stuff about how this is working. This is pretty fascinating anyway to me, and hope you will find this explanation useful. So we'll continue. Okay, so a little about the laser itself, how it is working. So basically I will try to explain. So just to the middle. Okay, so the laser is doing two movements. One of them is the focusing, so it is coming up and down till it have the correct focus, and one is the tracking of the track on the disc, similar to Petiphone. So it is moving like this, like I'm doing here. It's basically just electromagnets. The electromagnets are just wiring that get current, and by the current it is doing the movements that we can see here. And basically these are the most important parts. I will do a little zoom out to show also the power supply side. So just a second. Okay, so this is the top power supply part, and it goes like this. We have here the main power input, of course, then we have a fuse, and we have the coils, and we have a wire X capacitor, I don't remember. After the coils we have a bridge, diode bridge, and then we have the main capacitor. The main capacitor in my country 220 volt AC, so we have 307 volt DC after the diode, because this is basically the 220 multiplied by square root of 2. And then we have here the main MOSFET, let's say power switch controller, and with these all the parts here and the coil, basically we are doing all the output powers. There are a few output powers, different powers, let's say. Basically we have usually about 9 volt or 12 volt to the motor and drivers, and we also have 5 volts and probably something like 8 volts, and all the powers that we need. By there are many wires here with all the power out, and this is basically it. Usually we have a control of the power that is coming from the front panel. So we have like a command to power up, and the command is controlling all the power up of the supplies from this wire to the main board that we seen earlier. So basically this is how DVDs work, and hope you find this interesting, and that's all for now. So thank you and bye bye.